has not been very good. And here's the closet. Now the thing is, inside the closet, it goes all the way up to there, like 8 foot. What to do, what to do. Do I put towels there? Do I put pants there? Do I put bedding there? What do I do? And then I'm going to have to go through all these. Obviously there's probably things that I will never wear, maybe. Or wintry stuff and summery stuff. And then there's a big turquoise tub in there. And I don't remember if that came with me from St. Louis or if I bought it here. I don't recall. There's a little shelving thingy there. My file cabinet's in that side. Plus, come on. Come. Ugh. My costumes. And right now I have towels in a big plastic thing. And dresses. And it's just a mess. There's me in 2007. Woo woo! Yeah, it's a mess. I have, from the calendar down, I'm going to hang a light blue cloth, which is actually, it's right here actually. It's going to hide the bottom half of the, it'll look nicer. These two things are on their side because they're too tall to fit in here. I had cleaned it off for the cat to be able to sit on there because he kept wanting to sit there. And he never sat there, so he's lost out. I put papers and stuff there. I've got to go through the file cabinet and sort out stuff. Get rid of the things that are not important or way past whatever. Since I'm not back at the house in Missouri, don't have to worry about anything that to do with that house, so the clothing laundry thingy, I put a little cover on it in the cat bed so he could sit there too, but he knocked it over earlier. He likes to come running in the room, jump on the bed, jump up to the window, or he'll jump from the bed, bounce off my chest, go to that thing, and then jump over here in the window. Or he'll come running in here like his butt's on fire, he'll jump up on the desk, and he'll sit on top of the printer. Then he gets a hair up his butt, and he goes here, and he keeps looking up there. He went up there once and knocked stuff down, and I keep telling him no, and I have to spank him and throw him on the bed. Where is he now? There he is! Hi! Talking about you, bud. Yeah, you love me, I love you too. I know. Almost time to feed you again, and again, and again. So, little pink fold-out cube. There's two plastic things and a bunch of plastic things. And a diaper box. A diaper box that I spray painted the outside of. Pampers box. And I made like a little shelf in there. I'm going to put the washcloths on one shelf and the hand towels on that shelf. This box is going to house my sheet sets. What I do is I fold up the flat one, I roll up the fitted one, and put the pillowcases in there and roll it all up. So I'll have room for 3 sets, and I have 3 sets. Which means there'll be 2 sets in there and 1 on the bed. And then I have extra pillowcases, and they'll go in here. This is for my underwear. Winterhosen, underpants. This is to separate my light socks and my dark socks. And 1 for each. Sorry about this. This is such a sloppy mess here. Right, kitten? And what's important, didn't really have one I got one of these. I've been ugly crying inside all day, and this is to help it come out. I still have some wine up there. These will be for the towels. They'll go, they'll stack up. I'll put it up on the shelf. And the one next to it, I'll have one next to it, and I forgot what I was going to put in there. Big chunk of ice melting slowly. Cold water. Used to be a lid to a container that had chocolate covered almonds. Put some cork in there. It is now a coaster that absorbs the sweat from a glass. I ugly cried on the inside. I'm just being torn up in shreds. I'll tell you why in a sec. But this closet thing, I really do need to do it. So I bought these various things, and I took a Pampers diaper box and cut it up and glued paper to it to make it look better, and going to try to use those to separate things. Right now everything's piled on everything else, and my underwears, different drawers have stuff in there, and it's just stuff. If I can separate the stuff into different areas, then at least they'll be a little more organized. Going through a bunch of papers, throwing a lot of stuff away, and I found something that came and said, if you're a senior, you might want these phone numbers, blah, blah, blah. One's for Medicare, and one is for if you're lonely and you need someone to talk to. I might try that one. But I went down to Wally World and got some plastic containers to hopefully divide the closet up. Now I have no excuse. I really have to do it. And it's like 84, 85 in here. It's really hot. I turned the lights on so I could film, otherwise they'll be off. Very hot. I have to take a cold shower before I go to bed, otherwise I cannot even sleep. Last night, the internet went down, so I had to put my vlog for today up this morning, or for yesterday. I don't know what's going on. I always feel like I'm left out of the loop, and I'm not footing the bill, so I'm not privy. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on half the time. Hopefully I can finish writing those things so I can do the skits tomorrow while they're off having dinner with her uncle. And I have a plastic swimming pool that I bought last year. I might inflate it and put it outside and lay around in it. It's just like a 6 foot long, 3 foot wide, or 4 foot wide, 5 foot long. That just a plastic one. I had one in St. Louis, but the squirrels chewed into it. But out here, there's no squirrels, so unless the dogs got crazy, but I don't think they would. They'd probably lay down in it. Okay. I have been having a lot of thoughts about my late boyfriend, the Sicilian guy. He called himself Sicilian Big Bear when he first had a moniker on Yahoo, and then Italian Big Bear. And he had a lot of girlfriends. A lot. And he liked girls that were chubbier and had no to low self-esteem. It was easy, an easy catch. I was definitely got chubbier and had no self-esteem, so. And he had a modus operandi, which I found out within the first or second year of knowing him. Someone called me. She said she had put a program on her computer and got all the phone numbers of all the women that he knew and was calling them all to tell them that they're not the only one. That's when I thought maybe there was one or two. I didn't know there was a handful. She told me the modus operandi. When he comes, this is what you do, and then you do this, then you do that, and he calls you this name, and I was like, yeah. Then I was bumming and depressed, and I got into a fight. I think it was 2 years into knowing him, I guess. And that's when I met the other Italian guy, the one that I went over overseas. I went to visit his hometown, and then he came over here and rented a camper, and we went to Yellowstone Park. And then he asked me to marry him, and went over to Italy, but spent 6 months. We weren't married. Paperwork didn't go through. I lived in Abu Dhabi, UAE, for 6 months. And for the first 2 weeks, I lay in bed crying all day. I didn't have enough balls to go out and even walk around. After a while, I did, but... And there were people from all kinds of nations, the ones that worked. The Arabs didn't have to work. It used to be a pearl diving village until they discovered oil, and then kaboom, a new nation. But I was it Bush Sr.? I don't know who it was. It started some kind of conflict or war in 2003. So they said, if you're American, we kind of suggest you kind of leave. So I was leaving. I left and I didn't go back. Got back together with Bear. I left some of his pictures back in St. Louis because I thought I should just start a new chapter of my life. But emotions, memories, things like that, they stay with you. Emotional scars stay with you a long time. Maybe forever, I don't know. I've got a lot of emotional scars in my past. With my mom. With my ex. And knowing I wasn't the only one. When I was with Bear, I felt like $1,000,000. But when I wasn't, I sat and cried. But he said, look, I'll always be a faithful friend, but I can't promise you I'll be a faithful lover. But he was a faithful friend, and we were really good friends. And we had so much alike, you could have said we were soulmates. Both of us were the oldest of 3 kids, and one of the other 2 was not too bright. The mother ruled the roost, and the money for the family, and this, that, and the other thing. We had a lot in common. So he helped me learn Italian. He helped me out a lot, and I helped him a lot. Taught him how to use tools. He'd never used a hammer, or screwdriver, and saw and stuff before. That was fun when we were rehabbing a house that he was buying through another one of his girlfriends. And it came down to her and me, I think. In 2007, somebody's mom had a timeshare down in Mexico, in Cancun, and couldn't use it. It was for a month. So he went down for a month because he needed to renew his visa and go out of the country and then go back in. So the second week he was there, I think he was there for 3 weeks. The second week he was there, he said, "Hey, you can come down if you can afford to come down." Well, I had enough money and I afforded to go down. Found a cheap flight, which I think he was surprised, but I spent a week down there with him. We went to see Chichén Itzá. I don't know. And then he came up with leukemia. Didn't tell anybody that I know of. And he wasn't seeing me as often, and I didn't know. I didn't know he had a port put in for chemotherapy, and I didn't know what was going on. I was invited to go, this is in 2007, I was invited to go to Genoa, Italy, by some guy whose dad owned a coin shop. He was a numismaticist. I know how to say it in Italian. Numismaticista, whatever. He was a coin guy. So he said he needed help putting the coin catalog together. So I said, oh, I could probably do that. So he said, I'll pay for the flight and everything. You can stay here and I'll pay you to do the job too. And I said, really? He said, yeah, and you can have the ticket in your possession at all times. So if you want to leave, leave. So I thought, wow, this is so cool. It's too good to be true. Because I love traveling, especially to Europe. And so I went. Guy looked like Marcello Mastroianni. Woo-hoo. Yeah, we had a little fun. Which made me wonder if Bear didn't put him up to it or something, and was seeing if I was faithful. I don't know. I asked the guy, I said, did Corrado put you up to this? He goes, I don't know Corrado. I don't know. Corrado's grandma had a small palatial house in Genoa. Their family made their money on shipping insurance from the 1400s, and loaned money, and they made a lot of money. And Corrado was Prince of, it was Corrado Augusto and Corrado Augusto Cattaneo della Volta di San Nicandro. So San Nicandro, which is an area, near Molise, I think, that the part of the kingdom of two Sicilies that he was a prince of, they gave him that section. So he was an honest-to-God prince. You can look it up. But he died in 2011 with leukemia. I was torn up. And when I came out here, I thought, I'll just start fresh. I mean, what can I do? But I have so much emotional scarring, and everything reminds me. There's a place out here called Big Bear Mountain and Lake and everything, near Lake Arrowhead. Every day, and many times I pass a sign saying Big Bear, and I'm like, I can never forget him, never. And I miss him. Last night I couldn't sleep because the internet was down, and so I put some music on my phone and I fell asleep. Finally, about 3 in the morning, and I had a dream of Bear, and we hung out and had a good time. We didn't have sex or anything, but we were having a really good time. I expected a little, but didn't get any, and I woke up. And the cat fed the cat, and then I thought, maybe I can go back to sleep, and can I find that dream again? I don't know. They say you can do it. So I fell asleep, and there he was again. And he kept inferring that we can never be. And I woke up crying. And I've been ugly crying inside. My heart's been torn in half. I know there's people that say, you gotta get over it, you gotta forget it, but when something or someone is such a part of you for such a long time, 10 years we were together, and that's longer than some people's marriages. My marriage was 17 years, only because I hung on, was afraid to leave. Otherwise it would have been shorter. I don't know what would have happened then. I feel so ashamed that my life is just turned into a pile of shit. My son is so gracious to let me live here. I appreciate it so much. Had my mom not died and left the car to my brother, and my brother signed it over to me, I wouldn't have a car. Nothing like being frickin' poverty-stricken. But you can't act it out here. You can't act like it, or people will treat you really badly. So I have to buck up, hold my chins up, as the British say. Pecker up. That means your nose. I don't know. I don't know how long I've talked. I'm sorry. I end up apologizing a lot. Got to tackle that closet, or at least try to figure out how I'm going to do it. And assign all these bins. Maybe straighten up. Tomorrow when they go out to eat with her uncle, I'll try to do the skits. Maybe some noisy stuff like vacuuming and all that. Play some music loud. I'm used to playing music loud if I want. I can't do that. It's like living in an apartment. You can't be loud or anything. Which is really awkward. The worst part, when you have wall-to-wall neighbors. Oh, golly. Well, in the evening it'll get down to like maybe 70 degrees, so I can open the windows a little bit and let the coolness in. I've got things coming up and hopefully I'll have money for them. I mailed off Felix's birthday card. He's going to be 3 next Saturday up in Canada. And next Friday, the 2nd, Spencer is going to be 10 months old. I think he likes me because the other day when I was leaving to come back here to go home, he cried and cried and cried, and then I stuck my head back through the door and he stopped crying, and I said, Spencer, Grandma has to come here. You be with Mom and Dad. I said, I'll see you tomorrow, or whatever. I'll see you next time. Do you want to come over? You just knock on the door, have Mama ring me, come, It's like, okay. If it weren't for that dear sweet little kid, I'd probably go off to the mountains and lay down and hope to die. Upward and onward.